Yo, what is up guys? Welcome in another video. Today we're not gonna be talking about tracked AR, but I'm gonna be talking about asset creation. Today we're gonna do something simple, just a quick HAYBALE, and I'm gonna show you like a couple of methods that you can use, starting from the simplest one and then to the little bit more advanced one, so you guys can, approach modeling and track creation or just modeling, stuff like that. Without further ado, let's jump into Blender. And as you can see, we do have the project open. We're not gonna be deleting the cube right now because this cube is gonna be our HAYBALE. So we're gonna go into edit mode first, scale it down a little bit, but you can also scale it in object mode. If you press N, you should be able to see the dimensions of the cube. It should be 1 meter long, so we're gonna make it 1.5 meters long. This, and I think with the height it should be like 50 centimeters, because we are looking at dimensions because in Unity we use the metric system, and so doing stuff like this, it's going to translate immediately to the game and you're not gonna be scaling stuff to kind of match it. You might still do that to achieve like the preferred look that you want, but usually this is the best way to do that. Now once we have done everything, as you can see, we are keeping the center like this, and I'm going to, as you can see the red circle, I'm going to move the object like this and right click, set origin to 3D cursor. So this way, when you're going to spawn this object inside Unity, you're gonna be able to move it and rotate it from this speed point right here. Another important thing that you must do before doing the UV mapping, because we're gonna need to UV map this to make some skins for it, is to, as you can see on the right, we have the scale. This needs to be 1:1:1, so we're going to Ctrl A and apply the scale. Now before UV mapping, you must have this tab right here, 0:0:0 on the location and rotation, and 1:1:1 on the scale. This is going to make the UV mapping process a lot simple, and you're not gonna be having the UVs going all over the place. Now, how do we UV map these objects? We must tell the program which faces are gonna stay connected and which faces are gonna stay separated. So we're going to select these two faces right here, and we're gonna press number 2 and select this edge right here, and right click and mark seam. This is going to pretty much tell the program that these faces are gonna stay connected and these faces are gonna be on their own. Now if we go here into the UV editing, we're gonna go into new. Always remember here guys, if you're working with Unity, keep the image square. It's going to help you to not have any weird stuff happen. Now we're going to press A on the right, select all the model, press number 3, and then press the U button on the keyboard and tell the program to unwrap. As you can see guys, we do have everything unwrapped, and you can see the individual faces. These are all connected, so if I press L, as you can see, it selects the faces, and we do have the side faces like that. Now pretty much you can just click UV, export UV layout, and you're pretty much ready to go. I am going to do something a little bit more complicated now, so we're going to make this HAYBALE super high poly, and we're going to sculpt all the details on it, and then that's going to give us the normal map to apply to a lower poly model. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Okay, so in order to do the sculpting, we're gonna need to add a subdivision surface modifier. We are going to just do it like this. As you can see right now, the shape has changed because the subdivision modifier subdivides the model and averages the position of the faces. I'm not gonna go into detail on how that works because first of all, I am still learning, and second of all, this video is not gonna be about that. So I am going to create the HAYBALE and I'm gonna catch you guys when we are ready to sculpt it. Okay, so here we are. We kinda have the first base. I am gonna call this low, just to be safe and have a backup model in case I mess up. Go and duplicate this one really quickly and call this one HAYBALE high, so we know that this is going to be our super high poly. And we are going to apply the subdivision right now so it stays a little bit smoother. And now we are going to first of all hide the low one. We don't need it at the moment, just need this one. We're going to apply another subdivision again, which is going to give us a lot more triangles to work with and a lot more faces to work with, because we're going to need to sculpt this one. I would say 1,000,000 triangles is good enough for sculpting, so we're going to apply that. And now pretty much we're gonna go into the sculpting tab. I'm going to grab my trusty pen because I don't know if you can see, but I am working on this beautiful screen, which is super useful for track making, asset creation and stuff like that. Now I'm going to speed up the process because this is going to be quite boring and I cannot really like get super into detail of what I'm doing. And there we go, guys. This is going to be the super high poly model that it's going to give us. It's going to give us pretty much the normal details that we're going to bake into the low poly. So we're gonna have all these detail without having to use like the freaking million polygons, which is gonna be completely useless for gaming. One thing that I did not mention: you must save the project. Okay, so now that we saved the project, we must go back into the modeling tab. And now we're going to go and grab our low poly. Let's hide the high poly for the moment. We're going to do one thing right now, which is going to kind of clean up the model a little bit and have even less polygons. So we're going to apply the subdivision. And now we're going to go ahead and delete the useless lines that we don't need, which are these ones, dissolve edges. And I think this should be good. Let's try again. Maybe this can also go, and I think these two can also go. How does this look? We will see if this is going to be low enough and it's going to let us bake inside the high poly. As you can see, we do have the model going a little bit out, like it's a little bit bigger than the than our high poly. This is not good. It needs to be a little bit smaller. So I think the shrink wrap modifier should be enough for us to fix this problem. We're going to target the high poly, and it doesn't really, so it just kind of makes it a little bit smaller. We're going to apply this one. Okay, now that we've done that, we could have also scaled it on our own. I just wanted to see what the shrink wrap modifier would do. Now that we have this one right here, export it and see what it's going to do. So we're going to first export the low poly version, and then we also need to export the high poly version. Now I'm going to use a program which is called Substance Painter. Okay, here we are in Substance Painter. Go here and select Unity HDR pipeline. Stay with OpenGL because Unity uses OpenGL, low poly model. Oh, actually, I did a mistake here. So that's not a problem. We're going to import the low poly model. My mistake here is that I have not made the UV mapping for this one. So all the work that we have done is not going to show up on the HAYBALE because I have not made the UV map. So I'm gonna go ahead, go back into Blender, go like this. Okay, I have remade the UV mapping. Maybe if I export again the mesh with the correct UV mapping, it's going to actually work. So let's do that. Edit frame per mesh. As you can see, it fixes that. Now we do have this one, and we need to bake the high poly normals into the low poly model. So it's going to show me if I have done everything correctly or if I need to go back and fix some stuff. So let's go into texture set settings, bake mesh maps, output size 2048. Let's go use high definition meshes. We're going to click this one and select the HAYBALE high. Max frontal distance, we're gonna go with let's try 0.33. Let's leave this one as it is, and we're gonna go ahead and try to bake everything and see if we've done everything correctly. As you can see, the normals are popping up on our model, like the higher poly models sorry, the higher poly details, and looks like we do have a fairly solid HAYBALE here. Let's move this one around. So all that's left for us now is to actually give this HAYBALE a proper skinning. Let's see from the other side as well if everything is working correctly. And as you can see, we have made a million polygon HAYBALE into 76 polys. You can also do the same process that I've done here in Blender. I don't know how to do that in Blender yet. When I learn that, I'm going to show you guys as well. I started doing it in Substance because, as you can see, you just export the higher poly, the low poly, and everything just works. If you don't want to make the HAYBALE yourself, you're gonna be finding this HAYBALE in the description below for you guys. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give it a material, and you guys are gonna be able to paint over this material because you're gonna be finding that I give you the PSD as well, so you can have everything. So I think this is gonna be all for today, boys. We're just going to end the video here, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you find this video useful. If you have any questions, please let me know down in the comments below. Please subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you tomorrow with another video. Peace.